Hello everyone, welcome to this new episode of the motion design tutorials. Do you remember what we have done last week with the bar chart trace? Well, today we are going to take it to the next level. We are going to make it 3D, we are going to add some real life footage. Practically speaking, we are going to go from this to this.
When you feel a sudden need to be somewhere else, far, far away.
As always, if you enjoy this video and want to know more, just subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so that you are notified of new videos. You will be able to download the project to follow along, so don't hesitate to click on the link below to get all the files you need. And we are gonna make it 3D, and we are gonna add some video and Rotobrush and do a lot of cool things. See you in 2 seconds. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at what we are going to achieve today. The first part, this part till here, where you have the bar chart trace, is the one which is coming from the project we have been working in the last week. So you can download the project from my website, and I've just made it 3D and added some nice camera movements, some nice colors and shadows. I'm going to explain this in details later in this video, so please wait some more minutes. And after that we have some smoke coming from the left. This is stock footage that I bought, so I'm sorry I can't share this with you. And after that we have a video with a lady on the beach, which I have rotoscoped to have a nicer transition. So we have the rotobrushed lady here above the first video. This video I took it from the website pexels.com, which is a great resource for downloading royalty-free footage, good quality as well. And at the end, what we have is just some text appearing on the screen. What is worth mentioning is just this how this text is appearing on the screen, which is using the typewriter effect. I will talk about this at the end of today's episode. So hang on and let's see in details. First of all, how I have done this 3D bar charts. Here we go. This is the starting point. Just get the initial project from my website. Link is in the description below. And open it, and let's have a look. So this is the last project we had done last week. So you see there we still have all the charts working, and that's driven by the CSV file. What we are going to do today is to make it 3D. So first of all, let me have a look at the control layer, because let's go to effects, and you see that now we have only 5. So let's put all of them, put 7 in the visible columns, so that you have all the columns visible. Once you have done this, we can hide some of the levels. We can delete some of the levels which we don't need this week. So unlock those ones. Let's select part 2. With data-driven background title, we can delete all of them, and we can also clean up here the timeline. Let's shy this control layer C1 through C6. So click on toggle switches and select the shy mode and activate it. Well, they are now invisible, but they're still there. So now what we have to do, let's make all this level 3D. So to make this level 3D, you have just to select this checkbox for each of the layers. So this will make will allow to manipulate this layer in 3 dimensions. If you don't see this column, as I told, you have to click on toggle switches mode on the bottom. So let's select all the layers that we want to convert to 3D, all of them, and let's click on the checkbox, and that's it. So now all our layers are 3D. What do we have to do now? We can create a camera, because actually, as you can see here, now we have the active camera. There's no camera here on the between the layers. If we can have a look at the 4 views, select here 4 views. You have the top, front, active camera and right view. But we want to create a new camera layer to be able to play with it, with the position, to keyframe the position and the camera movements. So go to Layer, New, Camera. Select one node camera and click on OK. Once this is done, we will create a camera rig, which is a null layer, which will allow us to better control the camera. So Layer, New, Null Object. Click Enter to rename it and write Camera Rig. Now select the camera, click on the Pick Whip and go to the camera rig layer. This way now the camera is parented to the camera rig. What this does, for instance, let's select rotation on the camera rig. Oh, the camera rig is important. It has to be a 3D layer as well. I forgot it. Now, click on 3D for the camera rig as well. So if you, for instance, want to see what it does, you see, what you do, all the rotations you do to the camera rig have a consequence on the camera position. So let's put it back to 0. And let's add some light, because there's no light here on the project at the moment. So new layer, new light. Light type, you select spot, and you leave the rest as it is. Click on OK. I'm wondering why there is no light shown here. Let me check. We have the background. Oh yes, because we have the white solid, which is the current background, but it has to be, of course, a 3D layer as well, otherwise it would not catch the light. So now we can see the effect on the light on all the layers. So the camera, let me go back to Fit Window. So the light has, if you go to transform, you have 2 points, 2 positions actually. Position is the current position of the source of the light, while point of interest is where the light is directed. So for instance, this is the point of interest, as you see that we can move the light around, okay, while this one is the source. I have prepared some positions, a good position for the camera already, so let me copy it into the position in here. So you will have to put 240 on the X, 75 on the Y, and minus 666 on the Z. While for the point of interest, you will have to write 450 on the X, 540 on the Y, and 0 on the Z. So let's keep this light position for the moment. We are not going to move it, so we don't need keyframes on it. And what we do now is to find a nice camera movement. So for doing this, we go to the camera rig, R to get the rotation property, and then Shift S to get the scale as well. We move to the first frame of the composition, and we are going to write these values on the X rotation, which are already prepared. So for the X rotation, you're going to put 10. For the Y rotation, you're going to put 80. And for the Z rotation, you're going to put 80 as well. And now you will put 8% on the scale. Okay, now we're not seeing anything because the camera is pointing is zoomed on a point which is not really close to the charts. So what we have to do is to click on 4 views here to see what's happening. And you see that the camera is pointing here. So what we have to do is to move the position of the camera rig on the left. So with the position selected, select Shift P if you don't see the position here. You can put a smaller value here, like I don't know, 200 maybe. Yep, and now we can see a good starting point for our, maybe a little bit more, 250, 200. Let's try 300. Yeah, I like this. So let's keep it like it for the moment. So now we have found a good position for the camera. We can switch back to the one view. We can put some keyframes. We will surely need a keyframe on the position. But first, before adding keyframes on the position, it's better to separate dimensions. It's always better because afterwards you can do a better use of the graphs. So separate dimension. Now, actually, what I want to move, I will want to move is just the X position. So I will create a keyframe on the X position. After that, I will create a keyframe on the scale, which I will want to modify, and also on the 3 rotations. Oh, and let's select all the keyframes we have created, and let's push on F9 to apply the easy ease. After that, I would like to create another keyframe. Let me reduce here because we don't need 30 seconds, but something less. So we want a first camera movement to see the whole bar charts. So when we move to around 2 seconds, and we will select the second position. So we can modify the scaling here. We put something like 40 in the scale, and then for the Y rotation we will put a plus 65, and for the Z rotation we put 0. So this is the first camera movement in here. And after that I want to go to move the camera in this direction here to follow the movement of the charts. So what we have to do is to let's put another keyframe here on the X position, then move something later for around 4 seconds. And what we want to do is to move move it like that. Yep. So let's have a look at what's happening here. First movement and second movement like that. Okay. Now it's time. You see that here we still have this black background because our white solid on the bottom is not big enough. So let's extend it. So select the white solid, click push S, and then increase the scale to something like 250, 300. You see that now we have a nice shading on the, because the border is not visible anymore. And see what happens here. Okay. Now what we have to do is we want to modify the camera movement a little bit, because you see the change is nice here, and then it stops and then it starts moving that way. What we can do is to go back to the camera rig and anticipate a little bit the movement on the X position. This way, while it's still rotating, it's already moving on the X axis, so it looks a little bit nicer. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, what we can do also is to move a little bit those ones. And what we can also do is to modify a little bit the graph. So this is the graph editor. Click here on the graph. You select all the X, Y, Z, ZY and scale. And what you can do is to select just the keyframes here on the right, and you take these and you bring them to the right. You do the same thing, selecting the 3 keyframes on the right, and you take them a little bit to the left. This will accelerate the snapping of the changes. Boom, and then it's going to go to the right with the position. So let's have a look once more. Nicer, much nicer. Okay, I like it. Now what you can do is to extrude all the layers, because they are still, you see, they are still at the same level of the background, but we want some more 3D and some more nicer shadows. So what we can do, what we have to do is to select all the layers relative to the charts, and also the year value and year title, and we push P for position, and for the Z position we're going to put -3. As they are all selected, the -3 will be applied to all the layers. And what we want to do as well is to click here and go to material options and select cast shadows. So turn it to on, and you see we are starting to have some shadows. So the question is now, why don't we have the geometry options selected? Because we want to have some extruding. But to do this, you see that now we have here on the upper right corner, let me turn off the camera, we have the classic 3D renderer. But to have the extrude option, we need to modify this and set it to Cinema 4D. Okay, you see that the shadows are already nicer. And now we have these geometry options available. We open them and we can do some extrusion depth. So let's put something like 3. And you see that now we have an extrusion which is done in here. Now, of course, the colors are not really perfect for a 3D because the black is not doing a good job in here. So what we can do is to modify all the colors. So let me select Ctrl A everything, U to close all of them. And first of all, so these are the layers with the labels are the ones with the T prefix. So let's select all of them and let's select here a nice golden-like color. Okay, like that. And then we can do the same for the other ones, which are the values. V6 to V1. Color. Okay. And what we can do is to, let me see, because this impact, this font type is not very good to read on in 3D, I think. Let's have a look how it looks. You see that the values are not that good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the font as well. Let's put something very readable like Verdana, for instance. Okay, now it's much more readable. And here I want to see the year when the camera movement is about this position. So what we can do, let's select the 4 views. Let's go to the front view. Oh, you see that the background disappeared for some reason. What's up in here? It's still there, still there. What's up here? You see that here the position remained. We did not select these 2 layers for the positions. Let's put -3 for those as well, and they should appear here, there, here. And let's move them a little bit this way. And a little bit higher. So around here, maybe 700, around 700. Okay. Oh, they can be indeed a little bit smaller. The value is too big, so we are going to set the font to 100. Yep. Okay. And then we're going to move it only their value a little bit up because it's not reading. Well, 650 maybe. Yeah, perfect. So now let's go back to the 4 views and let's see what's happening here. So we start from here, and then camera start rotating following the rig, and we see that the year is appearing slowly here, and it's visible now, and now it will disappear as the camera is starting moving to the right. But that's enough just to give some context to the camera movement. Of course, it's not really, you won't use this video for presentation of commercial data or something. It's gonna be something more nicer. You're gonna put it in an intro or something like that, as I did in my video. So I think that's about it. You can still improve this movement. You can change the color of the background, adding a second light, because it's always better to have 2 or 3 light sources. Here we have just one light source, so we have only one shadow here. It's better to create another light source, to have a smaller, less powerful light source, which goes into another direction to give some more interest to the composition. And what you can also do is to activate, for instance, you have China here. Let me do only for this one. If you select the geometry options, you can also change the bevel style. You can put angular, which is the nicest. You see, it's just adding some bevel in here, which gives a lot in terms of reflections. As you can see here, we go this way. You see, let me put it to full. You see, you have a nicer reflections on it. You can also set it to convex or to concave. You see, it depends on what you want to achieve in the compositions. Of course, if you use it, I mean, it's going to be a little bit slower because it has to calculate all the reflections. You can also modify the material options to make it appear more metallic, more specular. But yeah, you have just to experiment a little bit on what you want to do. So that's about the 3D part of the composition. Well, let me know if you have questions. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll try to answer as always. Okay, now let's get to the second part to see how I have included this video to the composition. First of all, I would like to tell that the first animation I did, the 3D animation, I rendered it from the other project, and I have imported it in this new project, because otherwise it would have been too heavy. So here we have this the first animation, which is just, as you can see here, the video we have already prepared. And after that, as I said, I downloaded this stock footage from pexels.com, and I have included it here in over the previous video. And I have rotoscoped rotobrushed the girl. I've already done another video describing how to use the Rotobrush 2.0, which is doing really very good job. So have a look at the video I'm putting up here. But so I won't go in details, because now if you see, if you double click on the video, you're going to open the layer here. Now it's actually frozen because I've frozen it, otherwise it's taking too much resources on the machine. But that's as you can see, the Rotobrush has done quite a good job. Yeah, there are some little problems with the hair, but as I just needed to have the shape of the girl here on the composition, I said that we don't need much details. It's even better to not have too many holes on the hairs here. So what I have done here on on the Rotobrush part is adding some effects, which we can see up here on the left. The one which is giving this color is the strobe light. As you can see here, it's just forcing this strobe color, and it's adding some flashes every now and then. You can select the period and the duration of the, you see this one, this is what it's doing, changing the color. And I've done this just right before the change for the transition. And that's it. So, and actually what I have also done is to have a second copy of the Pexels video here above. The one above is the one which is not using the Rotobrush. It's just the original layer. So what I have done actually is to do the Rotobrush on this layer, doing everything I needed, and then to continue without the Rotobrush, what I've done is just duplicated this layer with Ctrl D and deleted the Rotobrush effect and adding a transition here with the opacity. So now that you see opacity is 0 here, it's going to be 100 there, and yeah, the video is appearing in there. I've added some flashes. You see that now I have some flares here going on. This is also stock footage I have. And then what's interesting is at the end. So here we have this text, which is appearing right here. This is the holding. This is the layer which is concerned by this. How the interesting part is how the text is appearing on the screen, this is nice. So there are two effects which are nice on this text. The first one is the roughen edges. What it does is you see, it's actually roughen the edges. You can let them more or less dirty. So it's very nice when you want to add some interest, some more nice details to text, otherwise which would be standard. You can also put some, if you go here, you can put some evolution on the roughen edges effect if you want to move the effect a little bit. But yeah, I didn't need this time. But the fact that the text is appearing like you are typing on a machine is due to the effect which is called typewriter, which is this one. And you are going to see that it's not going to appear here, but it's just using the type animation it's not actually a real effect, but it's an animation preset. So it's using this range selector here. Once you apply this effect from here, double click, it will add this range selector and these keyframes on your layer, and then you can just modify the length. You see now it's all completed and now it's empty. This is what it does. You can add also some more keyframes in the middle. For instance, when you want to add, okay, now we have one word, you can put a keyframe in here, and then you can copy it some seconds later to have some. Now you see here, from here to here, it's not writing any text. So if you want to add some more real life appearance, you can play with this. Well, that's all, I think. Have you any question? Just leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. As always, all my projects are shared with you. You can download them from my website. Just get the description below and you can find the link. So see you soon. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Bye.